So we're back on Stranded Deep on Xbox. I'm glad everyone has seemingly been enjoying the content thus far for it. But I thought I would try to work towards solving one of my main problems, which is basically I'm poisoned, and it's not a great thing to have happen to me. So, yeah, just gonna patch up our water a bit. I also wanted to mention a great little detail that was mentioned to me by someone. So your water is still, it'll get water over time. But if you want to help a lot with that, add the palm fronds underneath it, and you'll be able to collect water a lot faster, and that's going to keep yourself healthy. Because if you do want to heal up, you do need, full kind of food, water stats in order to get your healing going. So today we're talking about farming. So in the game, to start farming, you're going to need yourself a nice hoe, which is required for the farming. And you're going to need to make yourself a farming plot. So you kind of go to the farming section in the crafting area. You're going to need a lashing, like you need for everything. And you're going to need 4 sticks, and then you're able to make a plot, and then you get more advanced plots as you go on. So we're trying to find a cure for my disease. So we could find antibiotics, which are kind of rare, or we could use this great little plant called a pippy. So we're going to pick that up. We got ourselves a little pippy, which is a medical plant, and we just want to show off the actual farming aspect of that. So we can go over here, and then we can hold to farm said plot. Oh, look, we get an achievement. Grow a plant, and it will clear. And it will grow. Anyways, I was reading the hold X to clear at the same time that the achievement was popping up, and I was trying to say something, but yeah, you get the gist of it. So then we've got our farming plot with the pippy there, and over time it will eventually grow, and then we'll be good to go. And it's also good to save quite often, especially when you are trying to basically survive as long as possible. Save when you're in a good point, and then you're going to be able to carry forward from there. Another good tip is to basically leave food without skinning it, because then you don't have the decomposing issues, and then that helps quite a bit. So that was another good mention. And yeah, so kind of an interesting title, a lot of intricacies as we've kind of mentioned. I'm surprised I can't sleep again. And I know last time we went on this big adventure to find a large boat out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure if you guys really want to see endgame type content, but yeah, if you do, let me know. Great, so yes, this will take in-game time to mature, and you may also want to water it using an in-game item that is not there. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find where that is. The water sack, which is one of these menus. I think it's consumables. Yeah, the leather water skin. You're going to be able to use that to actually be able to present water and keep your plants kind of healthy. I mean, they're going to kind of grow themselves, but you don't want it to die due to the lack of charges. Like a newly constructed plot will contain 5 water charges, and these evaporate over 36 to 48 hours in game. And this plot in itself, this sapling, will mature over 48 hours in game until you get something from it. But you have to use like the water skin or the clay water bottle in order to do so. So we do need water, and we can go over to our water still, and we can see how another quadrant is available and how it has eaten up our latest palm frond. Okay, so I don't know where I'm putting this in, but I also thought it was kind of important to show off actually adding water to the farming plot, because you don't want your stuff to die. So we've crafted the flask, and we can take the flask and we can go over to our water still, and then we can collect, and then we can use that water over here, and you can see how the water kind of fills it up. You can see how that uses our water still, and it gives a little plant that we're trying to grow so that we can be alive later. It kind of gives it watering. You're seeing that thing going along, and this bar will slowly get eaten as the plant tries to grow. And I think we'll also show off the final iteration of what this looks like when it is completed, because this is obviously very important to my life. And again, if you are kind of running into issues with finding that kind of thing, you just gotta knock off the top of a tree, a palm tree, like we've done. I thought there was an example over here. Yeah, and then you just gotta beat the top part of it up there. You see that part, and then you get all your palm fronds. And this is the yucca plant for the fibrous materials, because I did have some people asking about getting fibrous leaves, which are your huge limiting factor. Oh yes, someone else was asking about regeneration. Yes, your stuff will reappear in the area, like on your island. It just takes time for it to regenerate. It's kind of a slow thing, and you might run low on resources in the meantime. And I hope I went in depth enough in regards to kind of showing off the pippin find. It's like a little yellow flower. You get a couple of them on your starting island, but they're very hard to come across. This will also give you a fibrous material, hidden little palm tree leaves, because we have mentioned that. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I hope I'm kind of going at a good pacing, which is a little bit more of a casual play, while at the same time kind of helping you get started. Because, I mean, my biggest detrimental problem thus far has been the disease that I caught while I was swimming. Obviously a huge problem. And I haven't been able to find antibiotics on my journey. You really can kind of survive on your main island if you take the time to get things built and take the time to kind of start really getting renewable aspects ready. You know, such as being able to collect that water. Are we out of water on here? No, we got a little bit left. So I guess we could show off on this palm tree the whole process of that too. I feel like this is just like a real water collection / growing focus kind of mission for today. And then we take down the trunk, hit the palm branch. And this is also where you get the palm fronds for the shelter, because some people are asking about that too. It's really easy getting the instructions, guys. You just gotta kind of look at what you need to build, get the tools that allow you to build things, and then you're able to go from there. So yeah, palm fronds, kind of, I don't know, maybe even more important than I had initially suggested to people. I still think the fibrous material and the water are your limiting factors, and I think the water still is one of the best investments you can make in the game if you want to live a long and healthy life, especially if you are having water and food problems, because it's going to be a big issue. And like I mentioned last time, if you are dealing with the sun and the heat, use some aloe vera, and that will kind of keep you going nice and easy. See, we've got a little bit of a plant has sprouted there. You can even use, and I guess I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier, you can even use raw stuff apparently, and it will grow from there too. This is what usually aloe vera would grow from, like the plant, and then you would just rub it on yourself. And you can do more advanced mechanics of that too. Alright, we don't quite have the tools to get the whole watering aspect going, but I thought it would be neat to maybe show off the fishing. I will also note that the rain can fill your plot up if it's needed. If it's going on, it's raining right in the moment, it can actually fill the water charge for your particular little farming plot. Oh, and crates, I guess I mentioned this last time, but I'll mention it again. It's great to have these on hand because they can hold 3 items, and it basically triples your inventory space, which is great, and you're not limited by that. Nah, my empty little campfire, that's funny. We're dealing with, we're doing alright. It's kind of growing along. I kind of wish I would have just thrown it on myself, but you know how it goes. It's just kind of good to get it finally kind of growing out here, because I mean it's been a big issue having to deal with that kind of thing, but I do want to make the required materials so that we can do a little bit of fishing. Oh yeah, the tool belt will allow you to hotkey more items, so that's kind of a helpful thing, and it kind of takes a little bit of space off your inventory. Again, that's very helpful. So we are going to need some more lashings. Always loving a good lashing, because we want to be able to make the fishing rod right here, which takes 3. So I'm going to kind of check, which I don't think there were, maybe. Yes, we do have some fibrous leaves sitting here. And we can make 1, and I think we need a little bit more. Yeah, we need 1 more fibrous, which this young palm tree is just sitting there ready to be taken and used for another lashing. See, as I could tell you before, lashings are such an important part of this. And now we have a fishing rod that can be used in the game. You can see it's got like an invincible angle to it too. It's not the most sturdy of things, as you can tell. It's got like a bit of a wave to it. It's just a floppy thing. It has a hard time staying stiff. Yeah, okay. So that's the fishing rod, as you can see. 3 lashing, 3 sticks. And now we've got this gray tool that can be used to collect the fish we need. And a bobber. So we also need one of the buoys in order to make the bobber, because we obviously got the floppy. I find it, you know, really hilarious to see that. Just like the way that it flops around, I think is quite humorous. And sorry, I know we have one of these here. Yeah, there we go. I wish I would have grabbed the rest of them, but they kind of like blew off. You can kind of find these in ships, if that makes sense. They're, you know, they're usually like stuck and bundled together, and then you kind of hit it, and you're good to go. And then we've got ourselves a little fishing rod, and you can see that we're fishing away. And we caught a fish. So again, I want to kind of show off the fishing thing here. So we got our little grab there. We actually got to pick this up. So the whole process of it, aiming in with the left stick, tapping the right stick, letting the thing bob, pulling it back when we get a nibble, and bringing it towards us so that we can basically grab it. But you know, you actually want to like bring the fish in, and to grab it again you just gotta go up to it and press X, because that's the easiest way to get the whole fishing rod element of it done. But I hope that kind of helped with the fishing. I mean, it wasn't the best example, but it kind of shows you the process of building it and getting it going. Oh, and like last time, we also mentioned with the last guy that you can split coconuts after you've drank them, and that will obviously be a big help to kind of keep yourself alive and well. And we can see that things are still progressing with our farmed plot, and hopefully that continues. If you ever find yourself kind of struggling to get resources such as food and stuff, your raft did come with things. These rations are a great way just to kind of like top off your health in a bad situation and just keep yourself going. Sometimes you have to put it in your hand and then eat it, because that was another question I got was, you know, how do you actually eat food? And you actually gotta like plop it in your hand in order to do stuff. See, some of it seems a little bit silly, and maybe the pace that I'm doing stuff seems a little bit silly, but some people are struggling with some of the mechanics, and I'm just trying to help them, if that makes sense. Okay, just in case I don't make it, you do need 2 pippy to actually get the antidote of what you're looking for. You also need a empty coconut flask, which we kind of showed how to make a little bit earlier. So once that's done harvesting, you go up to the antidote, and there you go. That's kind of how you make it. You consume it, and then you get to live another day and survive a little bit longer, but hopefully I will keep on keeping on.